here I want to show you how you can actually physically map your data to like a world map to show where your sales are coming from and how much are coming from those different areas of the world. This feature, I think, is only available in either your Office 365 Excel version or Excel Office 2019, I think. All right. I know they're available in those, but I'm not sure if they're available in the lesser version. So you might be disappointed, or maybe you'll be inspired to go out and get the new version, whatever. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this sales data here over many, many years. It goes on, not a lot of data, but we got a few in here. And what we're going to end up doing ultimately, and I'll show you what we'll end up with here in my done version here, I'm going to come up with something like this where it'll show the maps, it'll show the dollar amount, and based on the intensity, in this case, of the reddish color, the rust color, I guess, the more rusty, the more that's coming from those areas. What I did too, just to kind of get this going a little bit, I actually took one of the countries, I forget which country it was, and I just changed them from whatever they were to South Africa to show you that one down there as well. So I just kind of mix it up here a little bit. Anyway, so that's what we're going to ultimately end up getting, okay? So we have to kind of go through a process of getting from our original data that you see over here to that which you see to the far right, all right? This is going to involve creating a pivot table, all right? And I know we haven't done this before, and actually in Module 8 of Excel, it's nothing but pivot tables and pivot charts and all that. So you can get your fill in that area. Here, we're just going to briefly use it just to take our existing data here and get it summarized by country, okay, that we see over here, all right? That's all. So let's start out, first of all, then, by taking this data, and we're going to make next to it a pivot table of it, all right? Because we have, as far as the countries go, and that's what we're trying to focus on, are the countries. We want to round up all the UKs, all the Canadas, all the Argentinas, all the Chinas, all the Polands. Get them all together, add up their numbers here, and have one occurrence of each of those countries along with their total dollar amount. That's what we're going to use the pivot table to do to make for us. So we're going to end up with taking this and turning into this. And from there, then we'll copy this to here, and then we'll make our map from it, because we can't make a map from the pivot. We have to do it from just regular worksheet data. So we just copy it over. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to here, and just click anywhere in the data. We're going to go to Insert, and then you'll see Pivot Table. All right. This is going to be the range that we're pivoting, and we're not going to put it on a different worksheet. We're going to keep it on this sheet. So we're going to say Existing Worksheet, and I think we'll put it here maybe at about F1 here. So we'll get a little gap here. So we'll put it here. And when you click there, then that goes in there. So you just kind of click down here, click there, and it goes. You hit OK, and you get our little panel here that's going to allow us to, create our pivot. Pivot will end up being over here, just like you saw there, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to tell for the rows of the pivot. So the pivot's going to kind of look like this, right? For the rows, we want that to be the country, right? So we're going to take country over here, and we're going to drag that down into the rows area, just like that, see? Let go, there's all of our countries, right? Then we're going to take the total, which is this field here, okay? Take the total and bring it down into the summary area, and that then summarizes all the data. All right, that wasn't too hard, was it? All right, now, next thing I'm going to do, this is bugging me, I'm going to make this a little bit narrower. Okay, so we got that. So now, once you've done that, we're going to take this data and just copy it out into here, because we can't make the map from pivoted data. We have to make it into something like this. So all we're going to do here is just select that, all right, right click it, hit copy, okay, go over to here, right click it, and we're just going to paste values here, right? So click onto that, there it is. Now, we're going to put a label at the top. We could maybe call this one country. And over here, we'll put the word total, all right? Just have a nice little heading. Now, I'd like to have that kind of look like this here, all right? So I'm going to select these two, hit my painter, right? Click over here, and that formats that up. And then I'm going to click on to, or select these two here, hit my painter, and then I'm going to select all of this, and that way I get it to look like that, see? And then what I'll do is I'll just select these two by the columns, double click either one of these borders, and there we go. So now we got our data. So I'll bring this in a little bit. So now this is looking very much like what we have here. Here was our pivot, and that's what we had created from it. All right, so not bad. So now what we need to do is we need to make this map. So what we'll do is we just click anywhere in the data. We go over into the Insert tab, go over here to Maps, click onto that, and then just click on to this right here. And when you do that, it'll make you accept, you know, this big data that we got. So we'll click on to accept, move this over here, and there we go. Now we have up here, while we got the chart selected, we have the chart tools. We have our design up here, and we have our format here. So in the design especially, what we can do is we can take this and say, you know what, I don't really like that. I'd like to change it up a little bit as far as the coloring or whatever. So I can actually go into here, and I can actually hit this little more button. Oh, we don't have many to choose from, but we have this type of look here, which is what we're currently on. Now, if you look at this one, the big difference there is it looks like it's got the countries more outlined. There's more of a defined, you know, bordering on there, all right? So whether you like that, I kind of like it this way here. This I don't like that. I feel like I'm in the dark or something, but need something kind of bright and all that. So we'll go with this one here, all right? I'm going to go ahead, while I'm at it, I'm going to make this a little bit taller, kind of stretch it out a little bit. Who cares? All right, it looks a little bit better there. And a few things with this. Up at the top, as far as the chart title, I can actually click onto that. I can type up something like worldwide total sales or something. So I'll type in worldwide total sales, right? And you just gotta click away from it, and that'll put that in there for you. The other thing is, I like to put the legend along the top here. Okay, right now it's along the side. And as you can see, what it's basically saying is the darker the color, the bigger the numbers, right? So we'll click on this little elements button here, go to where it says legend, go to this arrow here, and tell it that we want to put the legend at the top. So we click on that, and there it goes. Then you can kind of click away from it, and there it goes on that. So not too bad. That looks good. The other thing you can do is if you want to get the actual numbers, if you look at what we had over here, we actually have the numbers, you know, in there. Kind of small. You can't really read them much anyway, but if you want to see that anyway, what you can do is you can click on your elements button here again, all right? and tell it that you want to put data labels in there. So the minute you click on the data labels, look what appears there. That's pretty cool. And obviously India is pretty small, you know, width-wise there, so it gets kind of cut off. So that's the only thing that's, you know, kind of bad about it. But overall, it looks pretty good. And so pretty neat. And if you wanted to, if you want to get maybe a little bit more room here, what you could do is while you're on the graph, you could actually maybe make it a little bit wider. See if that helps. All right. Maybe make it taller. But you don't want to get it to a point where it's so big that, you know, it doesn't fit on the page very well. And when you go to print it, but still, I mean, that to me is maybe a little too much here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that back to here. Now what you can do also is we can actually click onto one of the labels. They all become selected. Then you can go over to the Home tab up here and bring it down to a smaller size. Now right now it's pretty small, 8.5 point, all right? So I can hit the down arrow key, or the down font size here, bring it down a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. I mean, I can get it down pretty small. I mean, to a point where I can't even see it. So maybe I'll bring it back up to like maybe 7. I can make it bold, all right? If you think maybe a different color would be better, you can try that. But overall, there you go. Now, if you're sitting there saying, well, maybe that's a bad idea to have the numbers, you know, for the label, so what you can do is you can go back to your elements, tell it that we don't need the data labels, and just take the check mark off, and then they're gone. And we can just kind of assess the values by just looking at what we have over here. All right. Now, I was telling you about having gone in there and I changed, I think I changed Germany to South Africa, just to kind of show you a little bit, kind of change up here, just kind of show how it will light up down here. So if I go here to Germany and I type in South Africa, enter that in, then you'll see that update down there, right? If I go, and I'm not sure, I think on Russia it'll be just, well, I got Russia in there, but it doesn't seem like it's picking up on, I don't have Russia. So let's do this. We'll take Spain, okay, which is over there, and we'll make that Russia. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see what happens. There we go. There's Russia. All right, so there, that one's there. And it's kind of funny, though. I've got Antarctica in here, but they don't quite do anything with that. I don't know why. Maybe there's another word for Antarctica, but I got Antarctica. Yeah, so I think I got it spelled right. So anyway, I would expect that to get lit up, but it's not. Anyway, the other thing, one other little thing with this is that while you're on the graph here, you go into design here, we have something here called change colors. Right now we're blue looking. We can click onto here, and that's basically what we're on right now, is this one. So if you go down, as you're just kind of hovering over these, you can kind of see how they change up. So you might find maybe a different color scheme that you'd rather go with. All right. So you find one that you like. I think I had the green one before, so we'll click onto that, and there you go. So hopefully this will come in handy for. I'm going to have this also in my module number 9, which is the graphing portion of Excel, making charts and graphs and so forth. And we'll have this. I'll have another example of it as well. But this is a pretty cool thing. I just thought it might be kind of cool to bring it into the database environment because, well, that's what we have, and it'd be kind of neat to see how that would map out for you. So hopefully you can use this. I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.